Michelle, jeg The Intrepid Guide. Velkommen til Lofoten i Norge. Over the next 7 days, I'll be traveling around the beautiful Lofoten archipelago and sharing all the wonderful and dramatic landscapes that this area is well known for. They have the polar night, they have the midnight sun, they've got the northern lights, they've got everything. If you want to see some beautiful landscapes, then stick around. Thanks to its proximity to the Gulf Stream, the Lofoten Islands actually enjoys a milder climate in comparison to other locations around the world located on the same latitude. If you want to see the northern lights, then you have to come here between September and April, and for the midnight sun, the best time is between late May and early July. There is evidence to suggest that humans settled here as far back as 11,000 years ago, and there are archaeological sites which date back to 5,500 years ago. And the Vikings also had their place here, and at a place called Borg, they actually found the longest Viking longhouse on record, which stretches 83 meters long, and they reconstructed this and turned it into a living museum that you can actually visit now. Fishing has been and still is a very important part here of life in Lofoten. Codfish is the main fish that they catch around here, and as you travel around the Lofoten Islands, you'll see beautiful fishing villages which are called Rorbuer, and many of these have been converted into accommodation. So for the first 4 days of my 1 week stay in the Lofoten Islands, I'm staying here at Hattvika Lodge. This is such a beautiful and charming little village to stay in. The cabins themselves have all been restored and modernised, but they use a lot of the original wood and they maintain the old school charm of these beautiful cabins. So now that you know a little bit about the area, kom la oss besøke Lofoten. Just arrived in the beautiful Nusfjord, and there's a whole bunch of original 19th century Rorbuer, and that translates to fishermen's cabins. So the Ror actually means rowing, and then the Buer means a dwelling. So that's what we're going to explore now, so let's go take a look. Behind me it says glatt brygge, which literally means slippery docks, and then the second part says set sjøbein, which means bring your sea legs. Behind me is the famous Unstad, or the Arctic beach, and this is where you find a whole bunch of surfers surfing in crazy cold conditions. But there is one perk, is that the Gulf Stream runs past the Lofoten and makes the water a little bit warmer than you may think, but nonetheless it's still freezing. Välkommen till Rambergstranda! One of the great things about staying at Hattvika Lodge is the fact that they want to preserve and they want to promote the history and the heritage of the Lofoten area. And behind me is the perfect example of that. They've got a little Möller's tasting gallery that you can go into and try the 3 different types of cod liver oil that they produce in the area. So behind me is the one and only factory. If I just turn around and you can see that. It's very bright, but basically there was a German who was educated in Denmark, and then he saw how the Norwegian fishermen were producing the cod liver oil, and he saw that there were lots of different fisheries producing their own version of the cod liver oil. So he came along and he streamlined the process to make it more efficient, and then he came up here, and now there is a factory that you can now visit, and you can also try the different types of cod liver oil. Cod liver oil is a popular staple among Norwegians. It's very good for you. It's pure omega-3, so it helps with things like surviving the polar night when there is no sun. So yeah, let's go inside and taste some cod liver oil.
A tablespoon of cod liver oil is good for healthy living.
We've got 3 variations of the cod liver oil. We've got the natural, the apple and the lemon, which is the one I'm about to try now. Okay. A place called Bø. That's actually how you say Bø in Norwegian. So I've just arrived at Eliassen Rorbuer, which are another group of fishermen's cabins that have been converted into accommodation, and we're going to be staying here for the next 3 nights. So let's go inside and have a look at our beautiful cabin. To get up close and personal to the cod fishing industry in Lofoten, then you can see a lot of the codfish that are caught and hung out to dry in little fishing villages like this one at Sakrisøya. They catch some 40 million kilos of codfish in Norway, and they ship it all the way around the world, and a lot of it is actually shipped to Italy. So just like the people of today who use cars as status symbols, the Norwegians used to do the same thing by painting their house either white, red or yellow. White was the most expensive colour to produce, then it was yellow, then red was the cheapest. And to create the red colour you would mix ochre with cod liver oil, which is quite fitting because a lot of the fishing villages here are painted red. welcome to it just happens to be the last letter of the Norwegian alphabet, and incidentally it's also the last village that you can visit on the E10 highway in Lofoten. After that you either have to go on foot or catch a ferry. Is one of the best preserved fishing villages in all of Norway, and there's actually 2 museums that you can visit. They've got the Norwegian Fisheries Museum and they've got the Dry Fish Museum. And if you're feeling a bit peckish, then stop off into the bakery that's been in operation since 1844 and pick up some cinnamon buns. That's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video about the best things to do in Lofoten. If you have, leave a nice big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and turn on those notifications so you get an alert when I post more videos like these. And if you have any questions whatsoever about Lofoten, leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Until next time, ha det bra, bye!